about this issue of motivating employees and motivating people, it caused me to kind of begin to look at some principles of motivating others. And I thought today I would share with you a handful of those principles to help us learn how we can better be a participant in highly motivated employees, in a highly motivated organization and workforce. And so let me run through some of these thoughts with you. The first one is motivating employees starts with motivating yourself. We have to ask ourselves, how motivated am I? How encouraged am I? How excited am I? How passionate am I? Do I buy into the organization's values, goals, direction, vision? Do I know where they're going? Do I agree with that? Do I understand my role and part in that? If we're struggling as leaders to be in that place, then we're going to make it very difficult for our employees to get there. So first of all, one of the keys to having a motivated organization and motivated employees is making sure, are we motivated? The second point is work to align goals of the organization with goals of the employees, with the individuals. In other words, can you help them understand the part they play in the success of the organization? Do they understand what the consequence is, what the impact is if they do or don't do what they're supposed to do? When someone does great things and does their job well, do they understand the incredible impact and contribution they're making? Can they see it? Do they know it? Do they hear it? The opposite is true. If they're not doing the things they're supposed to do, if they're falling short of their expectations, do they understand the consequence and impact of the organization and others around them when they do that? The third point is supporting employees' motivation as a process, not a task. That's an interesting point for some of us that struggle with praising and encouraging and being part of motivating employees, is that sometimes we just see it as an event or a task. And what I would suggest to you is that we can't do enough events to overcome our daily moment-by-moment interactions. And what I mean by that is the Thanksgiving turkey that we give away, the organizational barbecues, invite your families, the gift cards that we give, those are good things, and if you're doing them, please keep doing them. If you're not, consider doing them. It's important to understand, though, that those events are not going to overcome what we're doing every day, moment by moment. If I'm not listening to my employees, if I'm not communicating with them, if I'm not engaging with them and building relationships with them, then there's no amount of events or gifts or cups or t-shirts or whatever that I can do or give to people that's going to overcome that. So it's not simply just a task that we check off our list to say, there, we did that today. I sent them a thank you. That ought to be good. It's what we're doing moment by moment every day. The fourth point, support employee motivation by using organizational systems. In other words, don't just count on good intentions. Life gets busy. We have long lists of things to do, emails and voicemails, the phone's ringing, people knocking at the door, and there's all sorts of things we need to try to get done and accomplish. And oftentimes this notion of our role in helping people to be motivated, supporting them, encouraging them, praising them, saying the thank yous, that gets pushed to the bottom list, or worse yet, it gets forgotten. So how do we build into systems through our policies and procedures, our performance reviews, our daily practices that shows appreciation and says, we're really glad you're here and glad you're doing what you're doing. And the final point is, the key to supporting the motivation of your employees is understanding what motivates each employee individually. The key to motivation is understanding it is an individual thing. It's personal to that person, and it's different from me and others. And am I building the kind of relationship? Am I spending time day to day, moment by moment, interacting with them, understanding who they are, what they think, feel, and believe, how that connects to the organization, and how I can encourage that, support those things, talk about that with them, ask about it, and play a role in that. So motivation is a deeply personal and individual thing. I wish you the best in developing motivation in others.